Well, good afternoon. This is Terry, your Amazon private label coach. And this is just a quick day. I've got a lot of stuff to tell you, but I think we might do another one tomorrow. We'll have to see on that. But just for a little thing, we're going to talk about Amazon long-term storage fees. I have harped and harped and harped about this. If you go through the past Hangouts and look, you'll see there's probably 2, 3 at least other Hangouts I've done on this long-term storage fee. And the reason I bring this up, because if you're doing Amazon FBA, if you're doing private label and that means that you bought product, you got it into Amazon, and if you go over those storage fees, it's going to cost you a lot of money. It's one of the reasons that I'm not getting sour on Amazon FBA. That's not what I mean by any means. When I start thinking about other things, because it got to the point where, well, first of all, when Amazon started, man, that's all they wanted. They wanted you to send the stuff in. They wanted you to be part of it. They wanted to help you. They wanted to do this and that. And then all of a sudden, they built all these warehouses, and they got to the point where they had a lot of storage, and they invited people to send it in. People were sending it in, and it wasn't costing anything. And basically what they were doing, Amazon was providing you with a free warehouse, and people took advantage of it. I know I took advantage of it. I know most of the private label sellers that I do know took advantage of it. And, it was a no-brainer, because you could go over to China and, if you had the money, on a product, well, you could get probably half of your expenses cut by buying a bigger amount. When I first started selling out, I sold bamboo cutting boards and did really good. And because I had the money, I spent a lot. And the first time I did, I thought, well, shoot, I need to bring these over here and check them out and everything, make sure everything was all right. Well, I did, and I came and we had to go down to Miami. We had them come into the port of Miami, and we unloaded them, brought them on a big trailer, brought them up to my house, and put them in the garage. And 2/3 of my garage was stacked, 5 foot high with bamboo cutting boards, and I got a good price on them. And I sold those suckers for a good price, and I did that. But that was because, why? Because it was all free. I could go down the street and, rent a warehouse and all that, and I'm paying big bucks. When I could send them into Amazon, I sent them into Amazon, and what can I say? There was no charge. They didn't charge or anything like that, so it was a good deal. So sometimes I've ordered 2-3 years supply, and that sounds ridiculous, but I had the cash, and I just did it. I ordered 2-3 years supply of the product and put it in my, sent it to Amazon. I brought it, well, the first time I finished the story, I guess, I said I brought it to my house, and I did some finishing labeling and putting a Fiskey label on, which I didn't need to, and I didn't know it. And just because I didn't know anything, I did it, and my wife about had a fit. She about killed me. And so what can I say? So then I learned, so I sent them all into Amazon, and Amazon got to hold on to them for 2 years. And like I say, they didn't charge me that, but now they don't do that. 6 months is the most. It's, and they're going to charge you. I think what it is, I've got it written down here. It's $1.19. No, a long-term storage fee of $11.25 a cubic foot. Now, a cubic foot is this by this, a foot by a foot. That's a cubic foot, and a foot tall or a foot wide. It's just a cube, and $11.25 is what they're charging you. $11.25. I'm going to tell you something. On those cutting boards I had, that would have been about $3,000. That's just a lot of money, and it sure probably would have taken away most of the profits. So if you've got stuff in Amazon, long-term storage fees coming up. It's officially the February the 15th, I believe it is. Let me find it. August 15th and February 15th. Or August 15th. I'm sorry, that's what's coming up. February 15th is coming up in 7 months then. So, but I'm just warning, this is the first day of August, but you've got 15 days. You've got 15 days to get that product out of there, or you're going to pay a long-term storage fee. That long-term storage fee, believe me, is going to add up to a long thing. Let me see. I've got some notes down here. Items in the fulfillment center from 6 to 11 months, 6 to 12 months, 11.25 per foot of cubic space. Items in 12 months or more, 20 is going to double that, 22.50. So if you've had that product in there for over a year or something like that, man, I'm telling you, you better get it out of there. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to get it out of you. For one thing I know that I've done, I'll tell you ideas that I've done. I've marked that sucker down to practically zero, said it was a good deal, and it flew out of there, you know. And because I didn't want to pay the storage fee, I'd rather take maybe a small loss or something on that order than paying that storage fee. I don't want to pay that storage fee. I want to get rid of my products. Products should fly. If your product's not flying off the shelf, then you don't need to have it. You shouldn't have it in the you know what I'm saying. You shouldn't have it in the Amazon warehouse. For instance, you know, it takes, if you're paying, if you have a product that you're bringing from China, remember it takes 2 months, a month to get it made and another month to ship it. It takes a good month to ship it if you're coming by boat, and I hope you are, because if you're flying stuff over here, unless it's a little teeny nose ring or something like that, you're crazy. Send it by sea, but it takes 30 days to get it here by sea, and that's bringing it across and, you know, through customs and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's what you need to do. I mean, if that's what you're doing, then for God's sakes, you need to get rid of that. So what I'm trying to say is, you have any more than 2 months, 3 months supply of product in an Amazon warehouse, you need to get it out. Now, talk to me and I'll yell at you. You need to get it out. There's no reason paying storage fees on an FBA product. If you're paying storage fees on the FBA, you're either buying too much or it's not selling enough. That's strictly what it is. You do what you want. But I'm just telling you need to get it out of there. You need to get it out of Jeff's warehouse. You know, Jeff put all those warehouses up there because people were filling them up. And that's what he wants you to do, because he's making good money on that. At $12.50 a square foot, I'd make it better too. Well, let's go back to the cutting board. My first product, it was right about a square foot, a cube. That it came 5 cutting boards in there. They were in a box and all that, and it was right. It was a little bit over a cube, but let's tell you. So $11.25, and there's 5 of them. So that's $2. And my math's not good. It's right now. It's $2.25, close to $2.25. I was adding on to the cutting board. I only paid. I think it was 85 cents for the set of them. This has been a long time ago, but I'm trying to think back. It was 85. So anyway, it would darn near not quite double, but a third. It added on to my cost. So that was coming out. So I wasn't making too much money. After the first ones I were, but the second ones in that, when they were in there for a while, it's cut into my profit quite a little bit, and it just wasn't worth it, you know. What can I say, guys? This is a business that you've got to stay on the mark with. You've got to know what you're doing, and you've got to know how to figure your costs. When you add $2.25 or something like that to your not $1.20, what it was if you had $1.25 to your cost or something like that per thing, that makes a big difference. So all I'm saying is watch it. There's other things. There's not only, I said I was going to tell you different ways to get rid of the product. If you also want to get rid of it, Amazon has got that that program that they'll buy your product, or somebody will buy it. You put it on there, put it up for sale. You're only going to get it maybe 10 cents on the dollar if you get that much. But if it means not paying a long-term storage fee, then I would surely consider it. Let somebody else worry about it. They'll move it out. They'll move it out and you know what, junk prices or whatever you want to call it. And that's going to be the end of it. You know, one thing you got to, don't take this business so serious that you think your ideas are the only way to make it, or that your ideas are the only way to go. You know, cut your losses, get out of it, get a new product. If the product's not selling and you're paying storage fees on it, there's a good chance that it's not selling. So get out of it and get what you can out of it, cut your losses, and go on and go into, you know, make another product, do drop shipping or something like that. What can I tell you? That's just life. That's just life. And I wish that every idea I had, my wife wished every idea I had, would just blossom into all kind of money and just start making it. Just from the very get-go, you're going to be selling 1,000 products a week or something like that. Chances are, I'm not saying you can't do it. You can do it. I can do it. Anybody can do it. But the chances are, it's pretty slim. Let's put it that way. As much as I think I know this business, man, every day I learn new things. That's when I read so much. I try to keep up with the new ideas, and some of the stuff they're doing is you know, really good. And that's why I kind of have gone over, and instead of private label is a good way to make money. Don't get me wrong. I've done very good in private label, but private label has got there's a lot of things going on in Amazon right now. And one of the things is the next thing we're going to talk about I forgot to mark my time. It doesn't make any difference. It says there's always a sign that comes up when I start one of these that says I'm good for 8 hours. Well, I tell you, I got my water here. I forgot my coffee today. I don't have my coffee. But now I'm not going to make it 8 hours. And that's okay, too. Because I don't think you want to hear me make 8 hours. Let's move on. And a few times I've talked about, now I should talk about more, is a product online called Web Retailer. It's a if you haven't heard of it, it's like a newsletter, stuff like that. They've got some tools, they've got some things like that. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't have a subscription to Web Retailer, you need one, because that's where a lot of the stuff I tell you comes out of. That's where I learn about a lot of these things, and that's what this program is for. It's to help you get going. And so they have got well, in the last month, 6 weeks or so, you've heard me talk a lot of negative, and I'm not, I guess you would call it negative stuff about Amazon, because I'm really worried. Amazon has, well, I told you 4 people that I know got their selling privileges removed last week. Well, I've got another one so far this week that got his selling privileges removed. And the thing of it is, I've always held, it doesn't make any difference. You can go and they always ask you, if you get your selling privileges removed, here's what you did wrong, which is usually not right. Most of the time it's because they copy and paste everything. And we want you to provide us with a plan so that won't happen anymore. Well, all well and fine. It all sounds good if you've got anybody that can make a decision. And when you send it in to Seller Central Support or something like that, most of those guys, they can't. They just do what they want, and they're all afraid of Jeff, because and I've often thought this, and so just this yesterday, I believe it was. Anyway, I want to see. Here's the date here. We're on, no, they don't have a date on here. Yeah, 8/1. That's today. So I got it last night. But anyway, that came on, and there's a big story in there about Jeff Bezos. Now, I've always heard that he's not conceited is not the right word, but he likes to keep his hands involved. He wants to have good rapport with the sellers. He wants to have good rapport with the buyers. In other words, he wants to be everything. The thing of it is, I guess, what they're complaining about is Jeff Bezos is a micromanager. In other words, he's always looking over your shoulder. And it's kind of like, I'll compare it to Donald Trump if you want, because the people that work for him don't know exactly what he's thinking, what's going through his head. And so they're worried about not shaking up things. And the people that are the head honchos that approve or disapprove of you winning, getting your selling privileges back or not, because most of the stuff is just pure garbage. And if you've read, like I say, these friends have gotten their selling privileges taken away. Another one this week, and they always ask me about it, and they read the thing. And most of those, it's just a stamp and paste thing. You got somebody sitting over there. He's working at night, nothing else to do, so he goes through and he finds something wrong about one of your orders, not orders, but products you sell has got a certain thing wrong with it or something like that. So he didn't have anything to do. So he just goes over and goes through their stamp file. And so you get to wake up in the morning to really great news with the thing that says your Amazon selling privileges have been removed. And then they go into, they tell you these, the reasons why. And the reasons why, it's another thing. It's a stamp thing. They go over and copy and paste this that somebody else wrote years ago. They kept using this. They can't even write a new one every once in a while. They don't. Oh, I did see one because this last person that I know that got it, I want to tell you this week, had something new because it was saying that he was selling counterfeit. It must be a new division they started or something like that, selling counterfeit goods. And they claimed, and I know he wasn't, but they claimed that they were going over to China or someplace like that and taking this product over and having counterfeited it over and shipped it over and sell it. And well, that's not exactly true. I mean, there's no truth to that, except that he did buy a product in China, have it private labeled, and made some changes to it. I know he did that. And so it wasn't exactly the same thing, but this idiot that sits behind the desk at Amazon, who just sitting over his shoulder, and this right here is the name of it. I don't know if you can see it. I printed it out because I wanted to read it like this or something. And matter of fact, you will find underneath, I probably can't do it on I will probably have, I know I've already done it underneath the thing for today for the weekly hangouts or the daily hangouts, and that I've done it. I put a link to the article and you can read it and all that. And it's really interesting because it says that Jeff Bezos, there's actually, and I really find this hard to believe, but this is what they say, that there is nobody between his, what do you call it, department manager or something like that, and Jeff. There's just this space right here. And so they really don't know what's going on. It's kind of like, I tell you, like I say, it's behind the White House right now. Donald Trump, he changes his mind. He's a genius. So is Jeff Bezos. They change their mind and they don't tell anybody, and all of a sudden they're doing this and that, and everybody's scared now. Amazon's place is got to be a mess because the place they're thinking, Bezos is a genius, believe me, and they've got all this stuff going and everything, but he's making the all the decisions. And how is that gonna set is what I'm saying. He can only do this so long. It's the same way with President Trump. It's great, having all this power, all this money and everything like that. But if you're going to grow, and here am I talking about Jeff Bezos, who has grown from what I understand. He started in a garage, and he did a lot of the shipping and all that himself, and he's now what, every other day he's the richest man in the world, or what do you want to call it? And it depends on what the stock does that day. But what I'm trying to say is he's not hurting for money, and he started out as an e-commerce store, or as a what you call a drop shipper, or anything like that, and use that word drop shipper. And fear and trepidation comes to Amazon sellers if they think they're drop shipper. Well, I'm a drop shipper. I'm proud of it. Tell you that right now, it's the fastest way on Amazon to make money. And there's private label, there's retail arbitrage we've talked about, and all these other things, and they're all in my course. We've talked about this too. This is the time to buy my course. It's just about done to be out next, well, maybe this month, but next month. I've already made a bunch of new videos. It's got some new stuff. It's talking about drop shipping, what I call 2.0, because drop shipping became so popular that people, they did it, but they invented so many tools. There's so many Chrome apps out there that can just about does everything for you. It'll find your product. It'll list your product. You don't have to touch it. You tell it what margins to give it. It'll price your product. It will, when your product sells, it will go over to whoever you drop shipped it from, whether it be Amazon or it be Walmart or whoever, order the product for you, pay for the product, have it sent to your customer, and put it in as a gift or whatever you want to do. So believe me, there is so much apps out there when it comes to drop shipping that, like I say, drop shipping is by far the fastest way to make money on Amazon. There's all these people out there, not all of them, but the people who are real serious and want to do it. You can go from 0 to 20,000 a month in 2-3 months, easy, with drop shipping. Now, okay, you got me started. No, I got myself started. I'm not going to blame you on that, but that's the truth. There's so much, and that's what's in the course. That's what's coming in the course. There's also, we're adding another thing about being a affiliate. And affiliate marketing, that's how I got started 12, 14 years ago. There's nothing wrong with it. You can make a lot of money being an affiliate. You can make a lot of money with drop shipping. You can make a lot of money with private label, except private label is really getting hard. And there again, it's Amazon's fault. Amazon started, 2 years ago, they started going over to China, and they had these seminars, or we want to call it, over China, where they would invite all the manufacturers in for coffee and donuts or whatever they have over there. I don't know. They invited them into these things and told them how great it is if they sell their product or send their products direct to Amazon, not to sell through any of us third-party people, but just to send it right to Amazon, and Amazon would take care of them and sell their product and send them the money, woohoo's the money. And so that happened. Not surprisingly, Amazon did these seminars. I had one of the guys that was in my course. He still is, but we just don't talk very much now because that was quite a few years ago. But he lives over in China part of the year, and he got over there and he kept seeing these signs around about Amazon, and he thought, well, he'd just go see what was going on, and that's what it was all about. They were trying to entice these manufacturers and all that to send their product right directly to Amazon and do it. So what can I tell you? And we're gonna making some videos about AliExpress. AliExpress, probably the fastest way and the most lucrative way right now to make money on whether it be Amazon, eBay, or when I talk about Amazon, it's eBay still in it. They're all doing the same thing. eBay is not as intrusive as Amazon is, but Amazon is getting away with murder, and it's going to hurt them eventually. It might be a year or so from now. So if I were you, I'm getting started on this, don't. make Amazon your only egg basket. You know, there's plenty of other ones out there. Walmart, eBay, I could take Etsy, whichever you want, but just do that. And anyway, this article explains a lot. It says right here, Jeff Bezos needs to stop calling all the shots. If Amazon is to remain the king of on-time retailers and continue to grow. Now, the guy that wrote this, has he got any credibility? Yeah. This guy, he's Amazon. Okay, I'll read it. Before breaking off a niche law practice to help Amazon sellers cope with the wave of seller account suspensions in recent years, as an Amazon seller and I was no stranger to the fact that it is almost impossible to find anyone in authority at Amazon who seems to be able to make a decision beside Bezos himself. And that's why if you've had problems with your thing and you try to write or talk to these people, they can't make a decision. It's just like when you fill out that form over at Amazon and over at AliExpress or any place else and send it to China and tell them you're interested in buying a bunch of blue widgets and what kind of price they can give you and all that. The person that answers you back is not the company owner. It's not the company, it's anything really, it's the company translator. And all their job is to take all these requests they get from buyers over here or Australia or wherever and translate for the manufacturer. And they tell them, and when you ask them for a better price, they can't make the decision. That's the reason they're not going to tell you yes or no. They're going to say, oh, I have to get back to you, sir, on that. So they do, and what they do is they talk to the man that can make the decision. That's one of the reasons that we brought as you know, what, about 6 months ago, 8 months ago, or something like that, we started telling you about Import Dojo. Import Dojo is a place you go to if you want to buy something over in China or something like that. They speak the language, they live over there, they go right there, they know, and they go to cocktail parties or whatever they have, rice wine parties, with the plant managers and that. They're parties, so they can get you a good price. And that's the reason we suggest that. And the only reason we suggest it is because they know the people, and that's what it takes. You know, you're not going to do very well. No, that's not right. You can do good and everything else when you first start out, but it's not until you get known and you know the players and you know all about their families and all that, that you're going to start getting really good prices. It's just simple. You know, unless you got all kind of money to burn and you want to do it, you could probably do it faster. But just the normal way, it's going to take you a while to get known. They're going to have to know that you're a good guy and you just want to make money and you want to buy good product at a good price. And till they know that, you're not going to get it. But that's something else. But anyway, what I want to say is, here's some of the headlines. There is nobody between Mr. Bezos and a bevy of bureaucrats who is capable of making a simple executive decision. In other words, they're not. That's the reason when and that's what I'm talking about. If you get one of these letters, you know, your selling privileges have been removed. Well, the premise is good, except none of these people know what they're doing. And so you're not going to get treated very well because they don't know. They don't know whether what they're saying is going to make Mr. Bezos happy today, or what he says next. What he's going to say next week, is it going to be the same as what it is? And they never know, so they can't really make a decision, and so they terminate a lot of people. You know, there's no sweat off their back. They just write a letter, and we're sorry to inform you that you can no longer sell on Amazon. We have decided you can no longer sell on Amazon. Who decides? It's not Jeff. It's not any of the high people. It's just somebody that they're doing because they think this is what their bosses want. They don't know. Anyway, let's get off that subject. And it's probably about time. It is. for me to say goodbye, good afternoon, and all that. And I've talked for quite a little bit, and I'll tell you about what we're talking about. And I was going to try and get into a lot of Shopify stuff and overload stuff, and that today, and I probably won't. We will probably get into that tomorrow or next whenever I do it, another one like this. I'm trying to get to the point where we can do them a lot more often, because I've got a lot of stuff. If you can see my desk right here, I've got a lot of stuff piled, and it's all stuff that it's meant to bring to you, tell you about, and inform you about, because there is so much, especially when you get into drop shipping. Not so much with private label anymore, because private label has not has gone through the darling stage, and now it's not as popular as it used to be, and there's good reasons for that. So say drop shipping seems to be the most affiliate marketing. If you and that's the reason I mentioned that, because it's coming back into play, because most people want something that they can do fast, and they can do while they're trying to build a business, and all that. And affiliate marketing is one of those. You can put out a good affiliate ad, and you can use the knowledge you've got from drop shipping with say Walmart ads. That's not one of them. Facebook ads. You could use that and sell a ton of merchandise. So, and that's what it's all about, and that's what we want to keep informing you about. I'm not. I'm retired, so I can take the time. I can research stuff, and usually what I do is, if you know me, I try it out. That's the reason I keep, and when I try it out, I put it in my course. Sell Your Own Products on Amazon for Income and Lifestyle. That's who sponsors this program. That's this program, and that's the course. It's over at privatelabelselling.com. Go over there. Find out about it. I'm writing a new sales letter. We'll get that in there, and we'll get it on. We're supposed to be changing the price here for long. We're not going to be for a while, but you get all the new merchandise, not all the new videos. We've put quite a few new videos in there, and we got quite a few more that we're going to, and they're all included, and you won't get dropped out, and you won't lose anything. It's just it's an ongoing product. The course, Sell Your Own Product on Amazon. I suppose sometimes we ought to change the title, because it's not quite. It doesn't just include private label selling. It includes everything. It includes retail arbitrage. It includes drop shipping. We're into module drop shipping too now, because there's so many new products, especially with Shopify and some of these other coming on strong, and some of the apps, the Chrome apps they got. Stay tuned, because it's going to blow your mind. It's blowing mine, some of the new stuff they've got. Overload. Man, if you're doing any kind of drop shipping, Overload is the place to be. What can I tell you? So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I'm here to tell you that we're doing fine, and we're going to hang in there, and hopefully I'm going to be back tomorrow. I don't know. We've got a lot of stuff going on with my family and all that. I don't know. My daughter and her husband have fell on some kind of hard time, and so we've been babysitting her kids 2-3 days a week, which is the thing. I love that, but it's really hard, because it's a 3-year-old and a 8-month, 9-month-old, and they're not the quietest things in the world. I can sit here and I'll be working on something like that, and my little grandson comes up, and all of a sudden he gets right behind me and he yells, and I jump out of the chair and all that. He thinks that's funny, and I guess maybe I did the first time. That's the reason he keeps doing it. But sometimes it really bugs me especially when I think. So if I'm doing that and he comes up with one of these hangouts, well, it's probably not so good. So that's probably the reason some of them get canceled. But the hangouts, I mean, that have gotten canceled because we just haven't had the time to do it. And I apologize for that. We, especially in, like I say, the drop shipping, because man, the course is really getting full. It's getting, but you know, who can I tell you? Because the thing of it is, what's popular today, last week, or last year is not the same. It's changing every day. So much is changing. Like I say, Shopify, uh, uh, Price Yak, Oberlo. Man, I'm telling you, there is so much stuff going on that you need to know about, because it makes a difference. Because every time some of these products come up, when they cut your time, when they cut your expenses and all that, that's all money in your pocket. And you need that as well as I need money in my pocket. You know, it's a fact of life. And so that's what this program is all about. That's what we're about. And that's where we're at right now. So what can I tell you? This is Terry, your Amazon private label coach. Now is the time, like I say, to go over and buy the course, because you're going to pay the same thing now, but you're going to get all the old stuff and you're going to get all the new stuff. And it's lifetime. And you also get access to me. You know, I give you my phone number, my text number, and my phone number. That's part of it. And you'll get it, and you'll get it free into the new parts of the course and the old parts of the course. And it's just as important today as it was then. So what can I say? I'm not trying to twist you. Well, I am trying to twist your arm a little bit. My family, you know, relies on that. And this is summertime. It's a slow time. So, but this is the time you need to be building your business. Not if you wait until November, December, when fourth quarter. Man, I'm going to tell you this, when your products are flying off the shelf, or hopefully you've got your products in there by then, and you want to be flying off the shelf. You want to be working on that product now, so that when that comes, you're all ready to go and you can take care of it. So let's say the place is privatelabelselling.com, and it sells your own product on Amazon for income and lifestyle is the name of the course. Get over there, get signed up for it, and you're going to get the new stuff in there, and you're going to be ready. So that's what it's all about. And that's why I'm here. So what can I say? Love you. So we'll see you the next time. I'm going to, right here, stop.